A couple nights ago, I did a live stream on my live stream channel. Shout out to all those who participated, and also shout out to True Royal Family and Kat for being on the panel as well. Where the initial conversation was me talking about how the DC police are going to do this whole training program in order to understand how the community is working and get a better understanding of how to deal with people in the community, and have them go visit the African American Museum down in DC and do a host of other things. And I said this is a direct hit on the intelligence of black people. And I kept saying I hope that black people do not fall for this shit. And then I was going through and looking on Instagram as I was still on the live stream talking at the same time, and saw one person actually reposted it and saw this as a good thing. I'm like, already some people are falling for the bait. Now I bring it to Starbucks. So Starbucks has been under fire, like literally under fire, for the last week or so. First you had the incident that happened in Philly, which we already know. Then the video came up about what happened in Torrance, California, with the young man out there, Brandon Ward, where he tried to use the restroom and he was denied the code. Then a white guy came out of the restroom and he got the code and he didn't buy anything, and they denied the code to Brandon because he didn't buy anything, but the white guy got the code. And then that Mexican chick or whoever she was tried to deflect away from it. Well, now Starbucks has announced that on May 29th, they are going to shut down 8,000 Starbucks stores or locations, which I think is probably every Starbucks in the establishment, to do some racial bias retraining or training. They actually are shutting down the stores to train people, their employees, on how to deal with black people. Listen to how that sounds. I'm very sure that Starbucks has had issues with other people in the past, and they never did any retraining thing, but when it came to black people, oh, now we have to retrain everybody on how to deal with us. This is nothing but a tactic for them to hopefully get more black people involved. Well, not involved. Well, maybe involved too. But to go to Starbucks to say, hey, we're trying to make a change. So we can come back if you like. But you know what? Like many black people have said, the damage is already done. And you notice with the issue out in California, how they're trying to submerge that, and that incident happened back in January. The reason why it's going viral now is because of what happened in Philly. They tried their best to keep that one buried under wraps because they knew they had a strong case with that one. The only people that's going to be affected by this is the people who frequent Starbucks every single day, because some people go to Starbucks every day. The company itself, because that means for one whole day they're not going to make it. Well, maybe not the CEO, but the employees are going to be affected because they ain't going to make no money for that day unless they pay them for the so-called training. That's about it. Dunkin' Donuts will be happy because they won't have to compete with anybody for that day. All the other small coffee shops, they're going to be happy because they don't have to compete with Starbucks that day. It was something else. It was somebody else that I wanted to mention, but I can't exactly think of who it is. But I think this is a bunch of bullshit, and black people, do not fall for this. Don't think that this is a win or that we somehow got them because we forced them to train and retrain people. This is just so they could try to save face. Nothing good is coming out of it. They're going to go back and be the same exact people, because what's going to end up happening is the CEO of Starbucks is going to have to bank that after May 29th that they don't have another incident like this. Because if they do, then they're gonna have the fire lit under their asses again, and this time it might be an eternal flame. So they are gonna hope that they are on their best behavior, P's and Q's from May 30th going forward, and hope to God they don't have another incident like what they had in Philly and in California, in Torrance, California. But like people said, the damage is already done. I think they saw what happened with H&M, and they don't want that to happen to them. But you know what? I'm actually kind of glad that this did happen, on the simple fact that it's actually forcing black people to look around and see if they can find any black owned coffee shops. I've seen a lot of coffee shop names pop up on social media in like the last 2 days, which is a good thing, because that means now they can get more business. What if that was a plan all along? If this was a true grand scheme plan to do this, to not only expose racism from these employees at Starbucks, expose the CEO for who he is, but to also get black people to go support black owned businesses that line up with Starbucks and probably have better service and cheaper prices, but to, go and look at their spots. If that was a true grand scheme plan, then I would say that it's working. It's unfortunate that it took something like this for it to happen, but I'm glad that it did. I don't think a lot of people caught that or is catching that. But if that is the case, I am glad for that. That's all I really have to say about this. Y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments.